Texas Congressman Michael McCaul, chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, my guest today from his home state. Sir, welcome back to America's Newsroom. I watched you on Sunday, and you said repeatedly we need to pick the American side in this fight. What is the American side? Explain that.
The American side is making sure that these chemical weapons are secure and destroyed. There's been a lot of talk about Assad and the rebel forces. This administration has had a failure in foreign policy, in my judgment, and that's why we're in the mess we're in today. They drew a red line previously. They crossed that line. Now he's drawing another red line. He has no credibility, unfortunately, with our international partners. But as the chairman of Homeland Security, the number one objective and threat that I see are these chemical weapons stockpiles sitting there in Syria that could fall into the hands of al-Qaeda. And why do I say that? Because the rebel forces that are in Syria right now fighting the Assad regime, now the numbers have ticked up to about 50%. Al-Nusra, which is the al-Qaeda faction within Syria. Syria has become a bit of a mecca for jihadists. And every day when I get briefed, every day these jihadists are flowing into Syria. And I think the last thing we want to see is, you know, we all know the situation over there, but the last thing we want to see are those weapons fired at Americans.
You said a lot there, but I want to know what's possible militarily when it comes to chemical weapons. You can fire a cruise missile in Damascus, but how's that going to take care of a chemical weapon stockpile?
It's extremely complicated. The administration had an opportunity about 2 years ago to support the moderate forces to topple the Assad regime. Now those moderate forces have been hijacked by al-Qaeda, so you have a very difficult, complex foreign policy issue. Cruise missiles can take out the delivery devices, but if they are fired at the chemical weapons themselves, you can cause grave destruction, and I don't think we want that kind of result either. We need to build up an international coalition, if we can take out the delivery devices, then to secure these stockpiles of chemical weapons and ultimately destroy them. But, Bill, this is a very, very complex, difficult issue.
Indeed, it is. And you mentioned the president there. On Friday, he said we have to avoid being drawn into a very expensive, difficult, costly intervention that actually breeds more resentment in the region. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I do not think the American people, as I've said on Face of the Nation, want troops on the ground here. We don't have an appetite for it. We don't want that. But if there's a way to surgically take out these chemical weapon stockpiles, that would be in the best interest, not just of Syria, but what I'm more concerned about, the homeland security interest of the United States. I don't want to see these weapons brought into the United States and turned against Americans, and that's my number one goal. I know the military has warships off the coast of Syria. I know they are giving the president all sorts of targeting, planning, briefings, and I will defer to that. But if there's a way to take out these chemical weapons without putting boots on the ground, I think that's the better scenario.
One more point here, and this really goes to the heart of the matter. Doctors Without Borders inside Syria now, they report 3,600 patients displaying these symptoms that could be tied to the use of chemical weapons. Of that 3,600, 355, according to this group, are reportedly dead. What can you confirm, if anything, based on that report?
Well, look, the prevailing wisdom in the intelligence community is that these are chemical weapons, nerve agents, which, is mustard gas is one thing, nerve agents, very debilitating and damaging. And the videos we've seen and the pictures and the firsthand eyewitness accounts we've heard from demonstrate that these are nerve agents that were used against his own people. And I think the saddest thing, Bill, the most tragic thing is look at those children who were killed by their own president. It's really sad.
Sir, thank you for your time this morning. We will be on top of it, as will you. Michael McCaul, when there is more to talk about, and there will be. We'll bring you back. Thank you, sir, for being with us.